Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for Series 1 of the BBC drama Line of Duty. Yes, I know I'm a bit late to this party as usual. It's always difficult with TV shows. Now, Line of Duty is a show that certainly in the UK everyone has been raving around for a number of years now. Now, I generally avoid BBC dramas as much as possible because, to be perfectly honest, they're usually crap for the most part, so I don't generally bother with them. However, a lot of people that I know have been like pleading with me almost to watch this show, and after the recent I don't know what to call it in the UK. Series 6, was it, in the UK that's just aired? You know, the country was in a bit of a frenzy. I don't know if it was heightened because of the lockdown, but the whole country only seemed to care about Season 6 of Line of Duty. So, we cracked open the BBC iPlayer, me and my wife, and we started watching it. Completed Series 1, about halfway through Series 2 at the minute. And I wanted to give you my thoughts on Line of Duty. Now, I do have to admit that this show is very, very high quality stuff. And the first series focuses on this department within the police force in the UK. It's kind of like the Internal Affairs Department in the US is the best comparison, I suppose. They basically investigate crooked cops from the inside. So, as you could imagine, they're about as popular as a fart in a spacesuit with the UK police force because they see them as snitchers investigating their own. And there's a three-person team. You've got Martin Compston, who plays Steve, Vicky McClure, who plays Kate, and Adrian Dunbar, who plays Hastings, who's their senior officer. Now, Steve and Kate are essentially the investigators, the lead investigators. Kate works undercover, and Steve has recently transferred over from like a terrorist unit. And we do see his unit go through a pretty traumatic event in the very first episode. He's feeling very disheartened because they're all lying through the teeth, so he essentially gets transferred to this department. And they have to then, they start investigating who they believe to be a crooked cop. Now, this cop is basically, he's just got the award of Cop of the Year. But he's being accused of laddering, basically fluffing up his figures to make it look like he's the Cop of the Year. And he's also involved in a woman who is a businesswoman who has been like bribing him and corrupting him, and he's also in league with the local gangsters in regards to money laundering and all this sort of stuff. So he's as crooked as they come. And it's up to this department to investigate him, which they do over. I think is it 5 episodes the first series? I think it is. So they investigate him over these 5 episodes, but it's not just as simple as that. Though I think the real crucial element to this show is there is no good guys and bad guys really. Everybody kind of is as bad as each other to some degree. Even the investigators. A12, I think it's called. Steve and Kate to some degree. Kate works undercover, so she's trying to get him from the inside. Steve, like I say, he's got this moral compass, but they're not too worried about breaking the rules to get what they need at the same time. But this guy they're investigating, this Copper Gates, I believe is called, who I think is in Walking Dead now or Fear the Walking Dead. He's the real special talent of this show is there'll be some episodes, and sometimes in the very same episode, where he does something really despicable and you hate his guts, and then the very same episode or the next a next episode or two later, it does something that makes you think, oh, maybe he's just trying to get by. He's not as bad as you think. It's not all black and white. This show, the best way to describe it is it's deep in the grey area, this show, and that's what I think keeps it good and keeps it balanced. It's not just that guy's bad, these guys are good, they're going to chase him over 5 episodes and get the evidence they need and nick him. Doesn't work like that, this show, and it is a refreshing change, I have to say. It's littered with characters that you immediately despise. Not just this Gates, but many other characters. There's a little child in the show who's only about 10 or 11, He's awful. He's treating everybody really awfully, swearing at them, you name it, chucking things at them, hurting them, trying to chop fingers off. And essentially, they present him eventually as a child who's just been brought up terribly, and his mother's abandoned him, and all this kind of stuff. And then you feel bad for hating him. It's really good, this show, like holding up the mirror to reality, really. That these people are just real people. You know, they're not characters in a comic book or a story. They feel like real, genuine people that have got a life outside of the job that they do. And you are exposed to elements of that throughout the 5 episodes as you learn more about each of these characters, their complexities, their morals, what they're prepared to do, all this kind of stuff. And it's just a really brilliantly balanced show, and I really thoroughly enjoyed this first series. It was superbly pitched, brilliantly acted by everybody involved. Very exciting at times as well. You know, it's not just behind a desk and picking up phones, making calls and driving about here and there. There was some really interesting and gripping action scenes really in it as well that really kept you on the edge of the seat, and full of twists and shocks and turns that, you know, almost at the end of every episode there was like a new shock or a new revelation just to get you really, really gripped for the next episode. So really clever writing, really interesting show. Really enjoying season 2 so far, and I will hopefully bring you the review for that. So I'm going to get through all these series now so I can maybe get up to date with the rest of you on Line of Duty. It's taken me a while, I know. This is not me reviewing this like in 2012 when it came out. It is 2021. You are right in thinking that, guys, but I will be caught up soon with Line of Duty. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you liked the review. I'll obviously be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.